Welcome to the third video on 5/7. This time, inversions. Right, so some important things for you. That these inversions should all be complete when we part write them. All that stuff about complete versus incomplete and all that, that's about root position and only root position. We're dealing with complete seventh chords when we're in inversions. And it's important for you to remember that, like all of our 6/4 chords from last chapter, inversions of 5/7 are also linear. They prolong functions of other chords, so tonic prolongations, etc. And remember that the seventh of the chord resolves down by step. I was serious that you need to memorize that sentence. Memorize it. Alright, so the first one, we have first inversion. Remember that the inversion symbol is 6/5, so we have 5, 6, 5. Notice that this gives us, so here's 5/7 root position sounding. Now I'm putting T in the bass. And so because T is on the bottom, it needs to resolve up to Do. Okay? So it means that 5, 6, 5 is always going to resolve to 1. And so we can follow these four specific voices. We'll have T, Do in the bass. We'll have Re, Do. Above it somewhere, we'll have Fa down to Mi, seventh of the chord resolving down by step, and common tone Sol. Very straightforward. So for second inversion, 5, 4, 3, we'll now have Re in the bass. It'll sound like this. Okay, this can either go to 1 or to 1, 6. So it'll sound like something like this. That's 1, and here's 1, 6. Alright, so now we'll have Re to Do, for this is going to from 5, 4, 3 to 1. We can have Fa going to Mi yet again. Common tone, Sol, and T, Do. Alright, so there's our schematic for 5, 4, 3. Alright, for third inversion, 5, 4, 2, we have the seventh in the bass now. Okay, so this seventh, the seventh of the chord has to resolve down by a step, Fa to Mi. So it means that 5, 4, 2 will resolve to 1, 6. Alright, so Fa, Mi in the bass, common tone Sol, T, Do, and Re, Do. Okay, so there's our schematic for 5, 4, 2. Now if you're wondering why haven't I shown you examples of any of these, we're going to do an analysis in the next video that'll cover your bases of what all these look like in music. Right, so if you look back at these three previous slides, you'll notice that the voice leading for all three of them is exactly the same. It just, what changes is what's in the bass. Fa goes to Mi, T goes to Do, Sol stays on Sol, and Re goes down to Do. So it's just what's in the bass that gives us what we need. So just be able to know that, this will happen, and you'll be able to connect an inversion of 5/7 to 1 with no problems. Alright, so now we'll go to the notation software and practice part writing inversions of 5/7. So here we are. Now I've done the first three examples all in C minor here. So let's practice them. Right. So let me put in our bass first. So we have in C minor 5, 6, 5 going to 1. 5, 6, 5 is a G dominant seventh chord, so we need the third B natural in the bass. Okay, so there's B natural. T in the bass needs to go up to Do. There it is. Now we need, we also need somebody going Re to Do. So I'll do that in the tenor here. So I need D to C, Re, Do. I also need a voice doing Fa to Mi. I'll do that in the alto. And notice it's May, because we're in minor. Fa, May. And then we have, our last one is Sol, Sol, which I'll do in the soprano here. So here's 5, 6, 5 going to 1. Great. So notice 1 has doubled root, 3rd, 5th as usual, and we have a complete 5/7 chord, 1 common tone and 3 motions by step. So for doing 5/4/3, so it's a G dominant 7th chord. I need the 5th in the bass, which is a D. So I put in my D. We're going to move to root position 1. So down to Do, Re, Do. Now, so I need somebody to sing Fa, Mi. I'll put that this time in the, let's put it in the tenor. So I'll put it right here. Fa, May. I keep on screwing that up. And then I want Ti, Do. Let me do that in the alto here. And then again, I'll put Sol, Sol in the soprano. This is the most interesting soprano ever. Okay, so here's 5/4/3 going to 1 in root position. Okay, so I'll make sure that Sol, Sol doesn't happen in the soprano every time. So now let's do 5/4/2 going to 1/6. So 5/4/2, G dominant 7th chord needs an F in the bass. So put the F here. And the F needs to, because this is the 7th of the chord, needs to resolve down by step, giving us a first inversion 1 chord, Fa down to May. So we'll have a C minor chord with E flat in the bass, 1/6. Okay, so I'll put the G's in the tenor this time. Right. So then we'll put, we need Ti to Do and Re to Do. So let me do it this way. So put Ti, Do up here, and then I'll put Re, Do in the alto. So there you go. 5/4/2 to 1/6. So let me point out that example. I was saying that all of the voices are the same, which is what's different is what's in the bass. So let's look. We've got Sol, Sol in all 3 chords, in all 3 examples here. We have Ti, Do in all 3 examples. We have Re, Do in all 3 examples. And we have Fa, May in all 3 examples. So there you go. So if you know how to part write one of them, you can part write all of them as long as you know which note belongs in the bass and where that note should go. So there you go. So look down below us. We have E flat major 5/6/5 going to 1. So give that a shot, pause the video, and come back, and I'll show you how I would do it. All right. So E flat major 5/6/5. 5, 7 in E flat major is a B flat dominant 7th chord. So I need the 3rd of that chord in the bass, which is D. So I put D in the bass. Here this time I'll do what I did the first time with the root positions. I'll write out the first chord and we'll follow each individual voice. So that's T. So I need Do as well. I'm sorry, not T. Not Do, but Sol for the root. Okay, Sol. Now, so I have T, Sol, T. I need Re and Fa. So let me do Re in the alto. Re is F, and Fa is A flat. There we go. So, 7th of the chord down by step is the A flat needs to go down to G, to Mi. Our T is in the bass, needs to go up to Do, E flat. We need Sol to stay on Sol. And then so re in the alto should go down to do. There you go. So 5, 6, 5 to 1 in E flat major. So now look at the B minor example, 5, 4, 3 to 1. And pause the video and you can come back and watch me complete the example. Alright. So B minor, 5, 7 is an F sharp dominant seventh chord. The third of an F sharp chord is, no, I'm sorry, the fifth is what we need, is C sharp. Yes, C sharp. All right, so we need, again, we'll build the chord from scratch from the bottom. So we need F sharp, I'm going to put that there. We need A sharp and E are our notes that are left. So I'll put the E in the alto again. Needs to be that one. And then I need A sharp. So there it is. I have F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, and E. All right. So our seventh of the chord is the E here. The E needs to go down to D. Sorry, I'm screwing things up. So Fa, Me. Okay. Now T is in the soprano, so it needs to resolve up to Do. So T, Do. And there we have, let's find our Sol, which was in this. So we need, that's actually Re, excuse me. So Re's in the bass, it needs to go down by step for the root position 1 chord. And then our final voice is singing the common tone F sharp. So there it is, 5, 4, 3 to 1 in B minor. So again, notice complete seventh chord and inversion, going to complete 1 chord in root position with doubled root. All right, now the last example is B flat major, 5, 4, 2 to 1, 6. Give that one a shot and come back. So pause the video now. All right, so here's our last example. 5 in B flat major is F. So we need an F dominant seventh chord. The seventh of that is E flat. So I'll put E flat, needs to go down to D, seventh of the chord, moving down by step. Right, let's put the root in the soprano. Let me put the C. We need F, A and C. So I'll put the A in the tenor. A is T, it needs to go up to Do. The F is the common tone Sol. And C goes down to B flat. There we go. B flat, D, and F. And we have F, A, C, E flat. Very good. So we followed all of our expected part running rules. Notice that since I know where all the voices should go and what they should look like, that I can just create the examples very quickly. So now you can move on to the last video where we'll do a practice analysis.